No. I
Oh,
can share it. Just bear with me for 1 second because I think we're
okay.
about to stream live on.
Ooh, live streaming, Todd.
Yeah, let's just give it 1 second here. There we go. And I'm going to go on mute here. Yes, I know. We're fancy here, Liz. We're really but if I do it twice, then we're going to hear it. So there we go. Now we're all set, and I can share my screen here. Perfect. We're getting fancy here now, Liz. I'm pretty happy here. So
I'm glad you're in charge.
exactly. All right. So, and it was interesting because I was talking to the team here, and at the end of the year, we had this
Mm-hmm.
recap, right?
Yeah,
And I was
yeah, yeah.
actually did it with like two customers also. It was like a big recap about like, okay, what went well in 2020? What do we have to work on in 2020? And I brought up a couple like things like, hey, well, why did you lose deals? And it was like,
Yep.
it was quiet, It was like, all right, we have a new one to do here
Yep. Archive, here we come.
about archive, exactly. So and I gotta tell you, it's from a coaching sales manager perspective, really being able to deep dive on the data, Liz, is so fantastic. That's why I'm so happy we're able to do it
Yeah.
today. And I thought we'd really maybe touch on how we can really analyze the effectiveness of that
Mm-hmm.
sales process to make sure because a lot of times we have to look back and say, what worked and what didn't work. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Be able to coach salespeople on where their strengths are and make sure we can help them along the way. And then I always love it, not only looking at one salesperson, but really looking at the insights of the whole team. So and maybe we could kind of intertwine some pro tips of the
Yeah,
day.
great.
Okay, cool. So I'll tell you what, do you want to share your
Mm-hmm.
screen here? And we're going to go
Yep.
through some things. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing. I'll let you take over then.
Perfect.
All right.
So I'm just going to start from the very beginning.
Okay. Good.
So obviously, what's the archive? Yeah, it's pretty, one of Pipeliner's pretty special bits, really. Very often with systems, you get all of your current deals, maybe even that business that you've won right there on screen. But
Right.
you know what? In order to get to those deals that you didn't win, it's complicated. It takes time. You need complex reporting. And of course, that's just like crazy, isn't it? Because those deals that you lost and why you lost them, and that ability to look at them and say, what could we maybe have done better? Or even, the ability to just bring them back into the active pipeline, because that happens, right? Deals come
Right.
back to life. All of those things really are the, square the circle, if there is such a thing. It's that sort of full visibility, isn't it, of what's going on? Yeah. And obviously in Pipeline, like everything else, you get to archive opportunities that belong to you in some way. Yeah, you can't just go ahead and lose somebody else's if you don't have the rights to that. Yeah, but
Good.
it's all over. It's everywhere. It's here on the quick view. It's here on the menu. If I happen to be in here talking to May right now, and she's like, "I'm really sorry, Liz, but this project isn't going ahead," I can do it from here. Yeah, wherever I start from, some things. One of them is I need to say why.
Mm-hmm.
And just like everything else in Pipeliner, of course, this is completely customizable. This is not a generic list, though this is very helpful. This is your list, and I'll show you where to go to customize that in just a second. So, maybe this one was lost on price. Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
And then you can add more information. You can post to the feed if you want to. I can then just click on lose and archive. Just to note for the admins out there, I can add fields to this form from the admin module. So if there are particular extra pieces of information that you want to capture, you can get them here. You can add them to the form. You can even make them required. It's just like working with the rest of Pipeliner. Okay, so I'm going to click on.
So you can have like check boxes.
Yeah,
and
check
like
boxes,
all
additional.
that. Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Competitor names,
Well, because one real life example is a salesperson, they're not too happy they lost it, right? I mean, but it's fresh in their mind though, right? So it's like, I think if we could just get a little piece of that data, because I think so many times it's like, sometimes we lose deals because they just say no, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of times you get like this lazy go dark mode and you're like, I don't know. So maybe there could even be some items in there like, hey, they went dark,
Yep. They just went dark. Absolutely.
yeah, and or maybe
Yeah.
when they think they should follow up, and maybe, oh my God, don't even get me started about starting processes after that. But we'll get to that later, everybody.
We'll get to that in a second.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So here it is. It's archived. Yeah. Things to notice. It's
Mm-hmm.
read only. Yeah. Once it's archived, you can't just go and sort of, change it around. Why would you? It's a lost deal right now. If you need to work on it, then you're going to be reactivating it back into your open pipeline because it suddenly becomes a deal that you need to work on again. Yeah. But here it is in the archive. You see, there's my reactivate if I want to. And just to show you, literally 2 clicks, one to reactivate, maybe a couple to choose a new closing date, and away you go. That deal is now alive again and back in your pipeline.
That might be actually one of the nicest things about all this. I have to tell you, because so many times I'll get a call, or I know our customers get calls, and it's like last year, oh, the deal's postponed because of COVID, right? You're, okay,
Yeah.
okay, and then now it's like as things are opening up, they're like, oh, okay, it's back on, right?
Yeah,
And it's
absolutely.
but all my notes, all my emails, all my documents. I think
Everything.
Pipeliner is the only tool in the world you can hit that one button and
Yeah.
then reactivate
And get it back. Absolutely.
It sounds so like of course you have that, right? But like I don't think anyone else
I
has
don't think they
that.
do. No,
Okay, good, good,
absolutely
good.
not. And of course, I mean, again, because we just make it so easy,
Mm-hmm.
let's say that you had a lost one in the past and now you've got a new one, but it is subtly different. Well, you can come in here and just clone this one. And then you can adjust the clone. So this one stays in the archive, but then you've got a new one that's, got a lot of information on it already that you can just tweak. So we basically cover all of the bases. Yeah.
Mm.
So over here, it tells you, that it's lost. It tells you the reason. Yeah, if you put in some additional notes, there it is. Okay. And it also tells you the date. And this date here, this lost on date, this is not a date that anybody can interact with. Yeah, it's a system date so that you have absolute reliability of the date that opportunity was moved into the archive. Top tip for sales managers here on coaching: coach your users to get those opportunities out of their pipeline and into the archive as soon as possible. Yeah, obviously it's good because then nobody's wasting time on a deal that isn't going to go anywhere right now. But also it helps sort of just make sure that all of the dates and everything like that, behave as you'd expect. So here we are. Yeah, quick reminder: opportunities tab, or bright blue, optimistic; archive tab, little bit sad and gray here. Yeah. But otherwise it looks exactly the same. And here's this one deal that I've archived this year. And that's important because target works here. Yeah, obviously you've got a target symbol. It's not exactly the same as the one in the live, but we're talking about won totals versus lost totals. But just as it does in the opportunities area, what you're seeing here is governed by your target settings, and it defaults to the current year. Yeah. So if you want to see all the opportunities you've ever lost, not just those lost in 2021, for example, then you might want to go and update your period. And as
Oh, there
if
they
by
are.
magic, suddenly you get a load more. Yes. So none of them have disappeared. It's all just the target influencing what you see on screen here in the archive, just as it does in that main opportunities area. Yeah.
Now, Liz,
So
quick question for you. If I wanted to like go one on one with a rep versus the whole team, would I use that power panel again to just
absolutely.
because
Yeah.
sometimes I just want to like have the one-on-one right with the rep and say, hey, how you doing? What do we? Let's see where you lost deals, right?
Yeah.
Would it just? Oh, you're doing it right now. Oh, see, on the fly. Oh, see, just like that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Perfect.
And of course, again, it's just exactly the same as it is everywhere else.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
I
So
gotcha.
all of those same skills that you've got that you use day to day in pipeline are just work in the archive in exactly the same way. Yeah. So here we are, Todd. These are yours.
Wow. Talking about coaching, talking about where I need to improve. I, I, I mean, I obviously need to improve on stage two. If I could just get, you know what I mean? But if you think about it, like from a coaching perspective, if I can just take one of those two and just really be coached by someone, you know,
Hmm.
and hey, what's my pitch on this? What's my dialogue? How am I progressing? Where am I focusing on moving from one stage to the next? You know, just those incremental little coaching exercises,
Yeah.
um, or the dialogue that you have that you can have with your manager. I think this is fantastic. Okay, perfect.
And it's just that, that instant trend view almost, isn't it, here?
Mm-hmm.
That, I mean, nobody likes to lose deals. Nobody.
Right.
But has to be said that if they're going to be lost, you want them all here early, don't you? you
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
you certainly don't want them dropping out here. If they're all in here, is it your pricing? That sort of these
Mm-hmm.
things just are so clear, and and guides you obviously in terms of the process and so on. It's just, this is
Yeah.
just that best view, just as it is in the opportunities pipeline, for what have we got and where, and in this instance, where did it get to in the process before it dropped out.
Yeah, this is fantastic. Can you do me a favor? Can you show where I can see like my different salespeople, like how I can visualize like what their faces? Is there a way to do?
Yeah,
I know
absolutely.
you could do it. So
Yeah.
maybe you could yeah, exactly. Because I was
So
thinking about this, Liz. Because now I'm like looking at all the salespeople that work at the company right here, right? And you can
mhm.
see my picture and John's picture and Nicholas's picture. Okay. So I guess when we talk about analyzing the effectiveness of a sales process, I guess this is kind of, we talked about one-on-one, but this would really be great as the team exercise, right? Where we can really say, hey, not only individually, how can we look at it, but how can we really take it from the whole, you
Yeah.
know? Yeah, this is fantastic. And is there a way to see just on the fly, just like, hey, kind of like what's going on, like with like, let's just take stage two as an example, because that's where I lost the deals, right? Oh, so you can hover over it. Oh, look at that. Oh, see, that's
Yeah.
what I'm talking about, Liz. You can look at loss rate 4 out of 22. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. For that, see, you remember how I changed my date in the target?
Mm-hmm.
It's so
Mm-hmm.
intelligent. That's right here as well.
Oh,
So
so you
it's
can look
just
at the,
keeping those dates.
oh my, that's probably really effective. Like if you have hundreds and hundreds of them in like
Yeah.
one stage, especially if you start expanding that time frame. I know our data set's small right here,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, see, this is great because I mean, even that one customer I was talking about, we had a meeting with. They had a lot, right? And so it was like, they kept on saying, "Well, how would this affect us, or what could we do, at each of these stages?" So,
Yep.
wow, okay.
It's perfect.
Now, do you see, Liz, and when you're meeting with customers, or just do people like split? It's just like if it's just too many in one, do they go in there and try to like split it or rearrange the custom fields? Like, what do you see real life as far as the adjustments people make to that sales process after they start looking at the archive?
Yeah. I mean, normally what you do, when you're looking at a particular one, certainly is, I said, most people not too concerned here. They might start from value proposition. Yeah, looking at just the distribution of these, for example. And then you'd be thinking about probably one-to-one coaching sessions as you described, but of course you want to be using Pipeliner itself for that. Yeah.
Okay.
So quick reminder, how do you get that sales angel, as I describe it to customers, sitting on the shoulder of somebody working with it? Because of course, once it's in the archive, chance has been lost then, hasn't it? It's about building that best practice back into the open opportunity so that hopefully next time you won't get the same outcome. And of course, what you do is you start building that here into the checklist. This is the little sales angel here, just reminding Todd on this opportunity that's at value proposition of all of the things that he needs to be doing to sort of to best manage it when it's at this stage. So just that ability to see, where are most of them dropping out? What have we got in our checklist right there, for that particular stage? How can we do better? But then, of course, it doesn't just end with that meeting where you all decide that, because then you can just build it directly into the system. So everybody, all of the time, knows exactly what to do to be better. Yeah. To be as good as they can be at managing an opportunity at this particular step. So I absolutely love that feature. Yeah.
Nice.
But of
And
course,
then,
it can be totally driven by the archive.
yeah, I like that too. And I know we talked about earlier before the meeting here, we were going to show some reports, but before we dive into that on archive, if I was in archive, if you could click on it real quick for me, there's different ways to look at the data too, right? I can say like,
yeah.
geez, is it happening like in London, all my deals, or are they all in Miami? Or so I have, okay, good. Okay. So we have all of that.
All the usual
ability.
views. So in this one, for example, love it.
Yeah, this is great.
So this is looking at, where your lost business is.
Yeah, especially if you start looking, is it North America, is it Europe? Especially look at all the way across. This is fantastic.
And you've got the drill down. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
And then some people love like looking at like one certain thing. And I think that list view would be really great for that, where maybe you can pick up on one little field, and just see visually how that's playing into it.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. We'll be covering this next week about changes.
This
is one of them. Just make it even easier to customize your own list view. But yeah, absolutely. Literally you can just put in whatever other custom fields. I'm trying to pick some that I think might be relevant to lost opportunities.
And we can sort on it like sales unit. You could sort on that. Oh, wow, that's
all
great.
of it. Yeah.
Okay. And then what if sorry, I keep on going here, Liz.
No, that's great.
But if we were like saying, okay, geez, you know what? Maybe can you go back to the pipeline view? Because sometimes I'll hear people like, well, maybe we are losing because of, let's say, I don't know, price or something, right? And so someone wants to take like all the deals that were lost, but not like total, right? But maybe just like grab the ones in a certain stage. Let's just say stage 2, right? Because that's what we were talking about before. And if someone wanted to like kind of like, I don't know, like send like a salesperson wanted to like send an email out to those deals. Is there a way to like email all your lost deals, but not all of them, but like really super focused target on just those specific ones?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So I mean, literally just quickly use filter just to identify them. Yeah.
Okay.
Custom filters, excellent. So certainly this is how I would do it to make absolutely certain. Yeah. So I just say, you know me, I'm really precise. Yeah. So I'd be choosing from here.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've just got the ones that I want to deal with. I always use the list view when I'm doing this sort of funky stuff.
Oh, okay. Oh, and there it is.
Yeah. As soon as I select more than one
Okay.
record, look at all the lovely things that I can do, including your friend and mine, Automatizer. But this one would be, maybe we could identify, that we have a special deal that this profile of lost opportunities might be interested in. Yeah. Way of getting them to reactivate them. So, we would do that. This is just on sales step, but maybe we found out something about Dynamics or Zoho or, whatever it happens to be. So we could include this sort of field here.
Yeah, or the company came up with like a new product and they're like, geez, that's the reason why we lost it, because it didn't have X, Y, or Z. And you'd be like, okay, I want to go after all my old ones and try to stir up that business again. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow,
and
that's fantastic. Okay.
Beautiful mass email, send it to your contacts, and away you go. Right. Yes, you'd have your lovely template here about your new, gorgeous.
Oh my goodness. Now, last thing, because, and maybe to kind of round it up, because sometimes the archive, it looks so pretty and I like all the different views, but sometimes like someone has to maybe send make a report, right?
Yes.
And we want it to be easy on everybody, right? So what's like if I'm looking at this, pipeline view and can I just say I have it filtered down perfect? And this is a great way just to see you're leading me right into it. The new report. Okay,
Yep.
okay, nice.
Literally. So, you pick what you want to see on screen, and then if you
Uh-huh.
need to send it to somebody or whatever, just new report. Give it a name.
Oh, wow.
Where you go. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm very partial to a pivot when it comes
I
to
know.
lost
Me
opportunity
too.
reporting.
Why is that? No one wants to go and look at the name of your name on the lost report.
Just show me a pivot. Right? So
Exactly.
I'm going to convert this straight to a lovely pivot. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And then what might you have? Well, you absolutely might have your
Lost
people that
reason.
left. Yeah. And then you'd absolutely have lost reason. Across the top, we don't want status because we know they're all lost. There we go. Bang.
Oh, by each one. So then someone's like, oh, this is the reasons why we really lost it. Okay.
Yeah. So,
Perfect.
John's got a slight preponderance for no budget, whereas everyone else is sort of pretty well spread there. But, it's just a lovely way of being able to see it. And then, of course, you get the drill down, So
Yeah.
what's the problem with budget there, John? And away you go.
Exactly. And also, another good idea is maybe on these lost reports, we can then schedule that lost report, right? And then that schedule could go out once a month, maybe, and say, here's a summary of the reasons why we lost deals for this month, or maybe this quarter, this year, what have you. And then that'd be a great way just keeping everybody informed. So it's no like big surprise at the end of the year saying, oh, we lost because of price.
Yeah, no, exactly. This is going to do it absolutely perfectly. You just add a month filter to your report and then, get this set up to schedule. So last day of every month, whatever time you choose, for example. And of course it's smart, it adjusts. It doesn't like not send it if you're in February, which of course we are. And then away you go. You just
say, it might be good also, Liz, is if we were to send this to like a marketing department, like an internal, kind of email, and you could put the link in there and also put like, an Excel sheet attached, but they have everything right at their fingertips. But a lot of times maybe what's going on, like for the reason that they're losing deals, wouldn't it be great to let the marketing team know like, hey, these are the areas where we're losing it. And then maybe they could be like, wow, how can we help the sales team as a whole? And then maybe we can go, can you go back into that archive view, the pipeline? Because what I was thinking, Liz, is maybe then they could say, hey, you know what? We want to kind of think ahead and maybe create an additional document or two on that particular stage.
Nice. Yeah. Lovely.
Yeah. So the ones that are, and I think the ones that are in the archive are the same ones that are reflected in the main pipeline. So on the fly, everybody will know, hey, what are the available tools, to someone that's on that stage.
Absolutely.
Oh, wow. We just got teamwork going on too. So.
I can't think of anything we haven't covered off here.
I know. This is terrific. I think this is a great start to the new year and covering the whole new archive functionality. This has been terrific, Liz.
Yeah. Because we've got lots of people doing just exactly this right now, haven't we? Sorting out what happened last year, cleaning up, getting ready for hopefully what will be a great new year for everybody.
Exactly. So, well, Liz, thanks so much. I appreciate your time today, and Everett, all our Pipeliner customers, thanks for being a customer of ours. And if you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out to Liz Young or myself. And don't forget also, this and all of our other recordings are up in the new Pipeliner Academy. And so if you're in your Pipeliner, you want to see it again, Liz, where do they click again? Boom. And this one will be in there too. So.
Perfect.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.